Alright, so we are back for another Dokkan Battle video, and in today's video we are going to be checking out the EZA STR JIREN. Now, there's a lot to say about this guy. A lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff. I'll get this out of the way first thing. I do think this guy is good. In a lot of events, he's going to be very useful, especially places like Super Battle Road, any red zone stages where you're facing multiple enemies, any red zone stage where he has type advantage. He definitely is going to be very useful, but I don't know, man. I think they definitely could have went in a different direction with his kit. They geared him more towards Super Battle Road, which is definitely very unfortunate because that's only like 2 events in the game, Super Battle Road and then Extreme Super Battle Road. So in most events, he's not really going to be at his peak performance, and unfortunately, his peak performance is kind of what you want from him. So then missing the damage reduction, missing the extra stats, you're going to see a noticeable difference in his performance. But anyway, this is the team we're running him on. He unfortunately does not have a 200% leader skill yet. Eventually he'll get one once we get, another Tournament of Power celebration. But for now, we're running him on his own team, so then we can run 2 of them on the same team and then just showcase him more in this video. So first off, we are in the Legendary Vegeta event. Hopefully we get good rotations. Okay, whatever, I'll take it. At least we got one of them on the first turn. We got both of them in the same rotation right off the bat, which definitely isn't a good thing, but is what it is. We do have him next to the Int Topo right here, which he should be really good next to. Oh yeah, 3 out of 7 links, but then they also do get a lot of support from the Int Topo. So right here, we're at 208k defense. Yeah. Yeah, not that good. So we do get 50% attack and defense on Super, which is nice. I'll give him that, but that's pretty much it. Like, there's not a whole lot else going on in this kit. He's got other stat buffs, but you get those when facing multiple enemies. And he has damage reduction as well, which is very good, but you get that when facing multiple enemies. So, it's gonna be interesting, to say the least, if you're facing only one enemy. Now, we'll go ahead and go over his passive. So he's got some good things. Like I said, he gets 50% attack and defense on Super, causes immense damage to enemy, and then greatly lowers defense. So, very good super attack effect. And then his passive is that he's getting 2 key, 200% attack and defense, so a pretty good buff there. And then a medium chance to stun all enemies start of turn. I mean, I guess that's nice. For Super Battle Road, that'll be useful, but in events like this or any red zone stage, what is that doing for you? Like, you don't stun turn 1. You don't stun at all during the fight. So that basically has no use in like 90% of content, but I digress. In Super Battle Road, that'll be very good. He also gets attacks effective against all types when facing only one enemy. So that makes me feel a little bit better about his attack stats. I think on the previous turn, he was at like 6 million? So 6 million by itself kind of sucks. I mean, kind of. If you're type advantage, you'll do some solid damage, but type neutral or type disadvantage, 6 million basically doesn't even matter. But then, because he's attacks effective against all types, it does make it a little bit better. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. 6 million with attacks effective against all types, pretty good. And then also, this is a big part, he gets 30% damage reduction when facing 2 enemies. So, yet another restriction in his kit that you got to be facing multiple enemies for. And that really sucks because 30% damage reduction is really good. Like, imagine this guy in slot 2, you get your super off first, you get all that defense, you potentially get the double super, and you're pushing 600, 700k defense, and then you also have 30% damage reduction. Then he's going to start cooking, but obviously you're not facing 2 or more enemies in most events, so you're missing the damage reduction. Now right here, we're at 246k defense, so we get the 50% on Super, and then that's going to put us at, I think, like a little under 500k defense. I don't know, I'm not amazing at math, but we're going to get a reasonable defensive buff from that. And then if we get the double Super, I know we'll be pushing like 600k defense. That's good, but keep in mind, we got this guy on rotation. You guys know how good of a support he is. And we also have this guy on rotation, and I'm like 90% sure he's a support. Yeah, Universe 11 category allies, 3 key, 30% the stats. So, the support is good on this rotation in 246k defense. I don't know, man. To be fair, we're missing Cold Judgment. Cold Judgment is, I think, 25% defense link level 10. So I'll give him a little bit of slack with that. But still, 246k defense. Really not that impressive, again, considering we have a lot of support. So what we're going to do right here, we're going to keep him in slot 2. I don't think the Pride Troopers in slot 1, or the Int Topo, whatever you want to call him, I don't think he's going to kill. I know he has built-in additionals, but I don't think he's going to like crit on all these and then get get the finish. So the JIREN, I was about to say the Vegeta, the JIREN should be able to, you know, do his attacks, that show his performance right here. Dude, if he's not pushing 10 million, like, his damage really isn't going to be that great either. I mean, we're missing a lot of stuff in his passive, so keep that in mind. He gets more buffs when facing a Universe Survival Saga or Tournament Participants category enemy. He gets the damage reduction when you are, you know, facing multiple enemies, but you're not doing that in most events. So, is that really a good thing? No, not really. So, that's why with this JIREN, you have to be very specific where you bring him. I wish they made his conditions a little bit more broad. I wish we had more difficult events with Universe Survival Saga or Tournament Participants category enemies, but for now, unfortunately, we are just missing these things. And then, yeah, JIREN's only here at 233k defense with all the support as well. I mean, I brought a lot of good support units, so, yeah, you could see, if you don't bring him in the right event, he's really not going to look that crazy. So this guy's not building up or anything. He's going to look the same throughout this fight. So we can go ahead and cut to an event where he's facing multiple enemies, so then we can see a lot more buffs activated in his kit. Alright, so we are here taking on the Universe Survival Saga stage of normal Super Battle Road. Again, I just want to clarify, this is not Extreme Super Battle Road, this is just normal SBR. So we've got a pretty good rotation for the JIREN. We do have some support from the UI Goku. We also have a couple links activated right here. We are facing two enemies, so we have the extra, you know, 30% damage reduction. And because we're facing Universe Survival Saga category enemy, we also have the extra 111% attack and defense. So we're sitting here at 292k defense. Alright, so that's not insane. That's not that much of a jump in terms of his defensive stat. But keep in mind, we still get the 50% attack and defense on Super. So then after that, we're going to be around 450k defense. We could potentially get the double Super, because I'm pretty sure we haven't built with some additionals here. Yeah, 15 additionals. And then also, we've got the 30% damage reduction. So then with the double super, which, by the way, I do recommend you go some additionals with this guy, and then maybe a little bit of dodge as well, but at least give him, like, you know, 6 additional, just so he has the opportunity to get the double super. Because then on a turn like this, with the double super, we're pushing 700, 800k defense, and we have 30% damage reduction. And then, of course, he's got the crits built in, and then he's got the stunning, which is all very good for this event. So I guess we could throw him in slot 1, just see how good he's looking there. Defensively, he should be fine. This event does not hit hard. Again, this is normal Super Battle Road, so it's really not going to be that difficult for him. But yeah, the stunning and all that in his kit is very good in this event. Like, you're going to see it pretty often, and then obviously getting the stun off on everyone is going to be very useful. Still only 8 million, though? I don't know, man. I mean, we got the crit, so I'll give him that, but I don't know, man. 8 million does seem a little bit low. Because he's got the crits built in, but then that's only when the enemy is stunned, I believe. Because we're not facing one enemy, so we're not attacks effective against all types right here. And then, yeah, the enemy wasn't stunned there. At least I don't think. So then we didn't have the extra 50% attack and defense, and then the guaranteed crit. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how good he's looking on this turn. So we have a lot more support. We have a much better linking partner. 326k defense, so a little bit higher in terms of his defensive stat. But we are missing the 30% damage reduction because, again, we're not facing 2 or more enemies because, of course, we did just kill the Lavender on the previous turn. No, that's Basil. Yeah, the red one's Basil. The poison one, that's Lavender. And then the blue one's Bergamo. I'm pretty sure. It's been a minute since I've watched the anime, so cut me some slack if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So 6.6 with the crit. That's not bad damage. If you're getting the crits off, you know, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's looking pretty impressive offensively, but that's the thing. Most of the crits is locked behind, you know, stunning and all that, which is going to be very difficult to get in normal events. So yeah, I did bring the Zeno support memory, forgot to mention that. That is buffing the whole team for 10% to stats, so keep that in mind. 326k defense. Alright, that's not bad. We do have a majority of our links activated right here. We're still missing Cold Judgment, so keep that in mind. But we are facing multiple enemies, so we do have the damage reduction. We did get the stun off on everyone. So literally everybody is stunned right here. Okay. So you could see the value in this, because if this was Extreme Super Battle Road, these guys are hitting hard. So then having just the stun on everyone, very, very good. Now we've got a lot of support right here. We do have the 30% damage reduction. We've got the extra 111% attack and defense. And then we have guaranteed crits right here. And I think another 50% attack and defense because everyone's stunned. So we should be looking pretty good right here. What's our attack stat looking like? Alright, now it's starting to look good. Because that's 10.6 with a guaranteed crit. And then we got the stun again, just for you know, laughs and giggles, even though we already had him stunned. So, not like that mattered there, but still pretty good. Now, reading over his kit, he gets 50% attack and defense, and then a high chance of stunning when performing a super. So, I think I read that wrong. Yeah, he gets 50% attack and defense, and then a high chance to stun when on super. Okay, so then he's not getting the 50% attack and defense when the enemy's stunned, but he's getting that when performing a super still. Okay, so actually that makes me feel a little bit better. So then there's more attack and defense he's getting on super than I thought, because he's getting the 50% from his super attack effect, and he's getting the 50% from his actual passive. So, actually that is going to be pretty useful. And then the high chance to stun on super as well is, I guess, good in Super Battle Road. But with all that shown, let's go and cut to the Metal Cooler Core test. Overall, he's looking good in Super Battle Road, but that's exactly what we expected. And honestly, I don't even think that really matters, because like I said, this is only 2 events in the game. And this guy's not on that many teams, so there's not that many stages you're actually going to be able to run him in. So, just stuff like that you're going to want to keep in mind. Alright, so we are here fighting Metal Cooler Core. Now, look. I think we got our defense lowered on the previous turn. Honestly, I can't remember, because I don't know, I'm just not paying attention. But, dude, 137k defense. I don't know, man. I don't think there's any situation where a newly released EZA should be at 137k defense. Or at least, you know, he has 137k defense, but then they also have guard, damage reduction, da-da-da. Now, this guy does have damage reduction, but obviously we don't have that right here. So, it's just 137k defense. I don't know, man. I mean, is there much to say? Like, I don't really think there is a bright side here. He gets a lot of stats on super, sure, but are we still tanking double digits after we super? Or are we tanking double digits? Because we definitely weren't before we supered. We took like 130k per normal. I don't know, man. Let's see. So we did not get the double super. He doesn't have any built-in additionals, so it's very often you're not going to be getting the double super. Alright, we're taking about 10k per normal, so a super attack would still kill us. Yeah, dude, 137k defense. Like, that's just not good enough. I understand his defense was lowered, but then even before, you know, his defense was lowered, in a normal event like this, his defense was only 200k. So it wasn't that much higher. So, I don't know, man. I'm not really feeling this unit. I don't really like his design, because in most events where he's designed to be, you know, brought in, I'm not actually bringing him there. Because I'm not ever really taking a JIREN in Super Battle Road stages. Unless I'm taking on, like, Universe 11 Super Battle Road. But at that point, okay, I have 1 stage to take him in. Or 2 for Super Battle Road and then Extreme Super Battle Road. And then that's it. So, like, the point of using this guy kind of feels just useless. Because then you've got those 2 stages to run him in. And then that's it. Because I'm not running a JIREN on Realm of Gods, right? I'd rather bring a bunch of UI Gokus and stuff like that. I'm not bringing him on Universe Survival Saga. I'd rather bring a bunch of UI Gokus and stuff like that. And Space Traveling Warriors, that's Extreme Class dominated, so I'm not bringing a JIREN. I mean, Defenders of Justice and Universe 11 are the only categories I'm running this guy on. And that's such a specific, like, place to run him that you're never really doing that. So that's why I'm saying this JIREN just not that great in my opinion in terms of where you're using him. If they made these like restrictions, like the damage reduction and all that, much easier to get, he would have been infinitely better. But for now, I don't know, man. We gotta wait till we get a really difficult event with a tournament participants category enemy or Universe Survival Saga category enemy, because his spot in the game right now is very, very wonky. So with all that said, let's go and cut to the unit breakdown. Alright, so here we have Absolute Power JIREN. So starting off with his leader skill, it is Universe Survival Saga category Key +3, HP and attack and defense plus 170%, or STR type Key +3, HP and attack and defense plus 100%. I mean, it's a decent leader skill, I guess. For newer players, free-to-play players, you might have some value with this, but once we get an actual 200% lead for Universe Survival Saga, no one's really going to be running him as a lead. And then his super attack effect is that he greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage to enemy, and greatly lowers defense. That's not a bad super attack effect. The 50% attack and defense is nice, and then lowering defense, I guess it could be kind of good for like Super Battle Road and stuff like that, which is mainly where you're running this guy. So, pretty good super attack effect overall. And then his passive is that he's getting 2 key, 200% attack and defense. He has a medium chance of stunning all enemies start of turn. Very good for Super Battle Road. He gets attacks effective against all types when facing only 1 enemy. And then he gets 30% damage reduction when facing 2 or more enemies. And then he gets 50% attack and defense on super, and then a high chance to stun the enemy. and then he gets a guaranteed crit when the target enemy is stunned. He gets another 111% attack and defense, and performs a guaranteed crit when there's a Universe Survival Saga or Tournament Participants category enemy. So, some good stuff in here. You know, the 30% damage reduction is nice, the extra 111% attack and defense is good, the guaranteed crit is good, but the condition behind these things, it's just a little too difficult to get. So, that's the stuff I can't really get past, but overall, a good unit, right? Like, he's not bad, it's just to get some of these things activated, it's going to be very difficult, and then to bring him in these very difficult events, you're not going to have these things activated because those difficult events don't really cater towards the conditions to get these good things in his kit. Now, his link set is Cold Judgment, Shocking Speed, Infighter, Hero of Justice, Godly Power, Tournament of Power, Fierce Battle. I mean, he'll link good with some Universe 11 units and Tournament of Power units, so I guess that's a solid link set. And then his categories are Realm of Gods, Universe Survival Saga, Universe 11, Space Traveling Warriors, Defenders of Justice, and Tournament Participants. So I guess that pretty much has him in the video. Let me know what you guys are thinking of the EZA STR JIREN down in the comments, and let me know what you would have changed with his EZA, or if you would just keep it the same, because I understand if you like his kit. I mean, he's a solid unit, I'll give him that. So once again, that has been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.